My name is Emma, and I'm 35 years old. For many years, my life felt like a dream. I had a loving husband and two wonderful children. Everything seemed perfect, too perfect, perhaps. But as life often does, it surprised me in ways I could never have imagined. I met my husband, Peter, when I was young, and he was older than me. Peter was the kind of man who made you feel safe just by being in the same room. He was intelligent, compassionate, and always had a way of making me laugh. With his stable job and our cozy little home, he gave me the kind of life I'd always dreamed of. When we got married, it was magical. I still remember walking down the aisle in my white dress, feeling like a princess. And there was Peter, looking dashing in his black suit, his eyes filled with love. Everyone at our wedding shared in our joy. A few years into our marriage, we welcomed two beautiful children into the world, a boy and a girl. Our son Jake is now 10, and our daughter, Lily, is 8. They brought so much light into our lives. Every giggle, every "I love you, Mom," made my heart swell. Peter, ever the supportive husband, encouraged me to keep learning. "Emma, you have to understand the family business," he'd say. "You're smart, and I know you can do it." His faith in me was unshakable. But then, one day, everything changed. It started with something so small, it seemed almost insignificant. Peter told me he wasn't feeling well. "It's just my heart," he said, brushing it off. "I'll be fine." I wanted to believe him. After all, he always seemed so strong. But that night, during a dinner party with friends, I noticed something was off. Peter was laughing, smiling, being his usual charming self, but then his face flushed red and he looked tired. "I feel a bit warm," he said, trying to downplay it. Hours later, his heart gave out. I called for help, my hands trembling, my voice shaking, but it was too late. He was gone. The days that followed were a blur. I was shattered. My rock, my partner, my Peter was gone. The kids cried, and so did I, every single day. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't eat. I couldn't think. "Mom, please don't leave us too," Lily whispered one day, her tiny hands clutching mine. Her words pierced through my grief, and for the first time in weeks, I felt a flicker of strength. I had to be there for them. They needed me. Slowly, I picked up the pieces. I started managing the family business, even though it was overwhelming at first. I took care of my children the best I could, but inside my heart felt hollow. Then one day, while going through some of Peter's old things, I found a letter. My hands shook as I opened it. He had written it before he passed, as if he knew he might not be around forever. In the letter, he wrote, "Emma, you are strong. Don't let life steal your smile. Live fully for yourself and for the kids." His words stayed with me, echoing in my mind. It was like he was still there, guiding me. That day, I made a promise to him and to myself. I would find a way to live again. Years passed. 4 long, lonely years. I told myself I would never love again. Love was too painful, too risky. But life has a funny way of proving you wrong. One day, I joined a hobby group to learn embroidery, something to distract me, to keep my hands busy and my mind quiet. That's where I met Sarah, a cheerful woman who welcomed me like an old friend. Sarah had a brother named Alex, and oh, how could I describe him? Alex was tall, strong, with piercing blue eyes and a smile that could light up a room. When I found out he was 28, my heart sank. He's too young, I thought. Why would he ever be interested in someone like me? But to my surprise, Alex didn't seem to care about the age difference. "Emma, you're beautiful," he said one day, his voice warm and genuine. I felt my cheeks flush, but for the first time in years I smiled, really smiled. We started talking more. He had this way of making me laugh, of making me forget the weight I carried. One evening, he invited me for coffee, and we ended up talking for hours. He listened as I told him about Peter and my children. "I know it's hard for you," he said softly, "but I want to be here for you." I was scared. What will people think? I wondered, what about my kids? What about Peter? But Alex never pressured me. He gave me space, showed me patience, and little by little, he became a part of my life. He helped with the business, played with my kids, and brought a lightness to our home that had been missing for years. "Mom, he's so much fun," Jake said one day, and I could see the joy in his eyes. For the first time in a long time, I felt happy, truly happy. A year later, Alex said, "Emma, I love you. Let's live together." His words filled me with both hope and fear. "I can't forget Peter," I said, my voice trembling. "I'm not asking you to forget him," Alex replied. "I just want to be a part of your life." I thought about Peter, about the letter he had written. He wanted me to be strong, to be happy. Slowly, I realized that loving Alex didn't mean I was betraying Peter. It just meant I was choosing to live again. When I told my children, they were thrilled. "That's great, Mom." Lily said, her face lighting up. We moved into a new house, one big enough for all of us. Alex brought love, laughter, and a sense of family back into our lives. Now I understand that life is full of change. It's not always easy, but it can be beautiful. Peter will always have a place in my heart, but I've learned that my heart has room for Alex too. Life is about love, family, and moving forward. I am grateful for my past, and I am excited about my future. I never thought I could feel happiness again, but here I am. My children remind me every day of Peter's love and strength, and they give me the courage to keep going. Alex has become a wonderful part of our lives. He doesn't try to replace Peter. Instead, he's created a new kind of joy for us. With him, I've learned that it's okay to love after loss. Thank you for listening to my story. If it touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Life is a journey, and I hope my story reminds you to never lose hope.